Okay, so now let's find the area between r equals 1, which is that blue circle, and r equals cosine of theta, which is the red graph with 4 petals. So finding the area between is basically finding this area. And then if I find that area and just multiply by 4, then that's going to be the total, including the 3 smiley faces. So looks like I need to find this area and multiply by 4. For the limits, I'm thinking that this is usually theta equals 0, and this is usually theta equals pi over 2. So I'm thinking 0 to pi over 2 will be the limits. And if I go to the graph and check, so let me move over to a graphing calculator, and let me make sure I have the functions, yes. And the window at first go from 0 to 2 pi. And you'll see that that's the whole graph. And then I was hoping that if I can go from 0 to pi over 2, that's going to give me the part that I want. So pi divided by 2. And then go to the graph and, uh-oh, that's not exactly what I was talking about, because it's then giving me this part down here, which I don't really want. Okay, back to the drawing board. So then I'll go, how about if I cut it in half and go right here? Because the red part, when I went from 0 to pi over 2, it went this part and then also this part. And that was not exactly what I was thinking it was going to do. So 0 to pi over 2 didn't quite work out. How about if I go in the middle, and that would be pi over 4. So go from 0 to pi over 4, and in which case I would then need to multiply by 8, because I'm just going to be finding this area. So now let me see if, so we're done with pi over 2, that didn't quite work out. Let me see if pi over 4 works. So 0 to pi over 4. Go back to the graph and go back to the window. Try pi divided by 4. And how does that look? So that looks good. So I just would need a line. Sorry, the pen doesn't work on this calculator. It'll just move it. But I just need a line at pi over 4. And then that would enclose that area that I shaded right there in red. Okay, so we integrate from 0 to pi over 4. As soon as I get a black pen. Integrate from 0 to pi over 4. And then the formula is going to be 1/2 r squared. And then we need the bigger r, which is actually the blue one. So that's r equals 1. So 1 squared. And then minus the smaller one, cosine squared of 2 theta. And the last thing to do is say, well, that would be 1 of 2 of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I then need to multiply by 8. Since the directions said set it up, there it is. I set it up and it's finished.